What's up guys, Manny from Motomillion, and in this video today we're going to be picking up our new Motomillion project bike from Ducati Miami. We're here at Ducati Miami. If you guys watched the last video, we dropped off the Motomillion Streetfighter V4 for it to be sold over here at Ducati Miami, and also for it to be on display for some of you guys to have the ability to come and check it out. You kind of forget what Ducati has to offer. This is like a toy store, and if you can't tell from the grin on my face, there's a lot of cool bikes. There's some bikes that I had even, you don't forget it, but you kind of goes to the back of your mind that these bikes are available. So let's quickly go take a glance around. Let me show you some of the cool stuff that they have here, and then we'll get to the bike that we picked up. I'm sure you guys are all wondering, but I promise I'm going to show you what we got. So one bike that really strikes me, because when you think of Ducati, you kind of forget this enduro style of bike that they have here. It's amazing. It's I think if I had the ability, I would have one of these as well, because it's just so cool. I could tell that it probably is a great riding experience. As we mentioned on the previous video where I rode the Motomillion Streetfighter V4, it's all about the experience, guys, because these things offer something that you don't get from other bikes. But other than the DesertX model lineup, this here, the Multistrada, they have a few of them here, especially the new V4s. This actually is the highest selling model for Ducati, if you didn't know. It's a touring bike. Only experience I've had with the touring bike was with the BMW's R1200 GS, and I really liked it. I could only imagine what one of these feel like with a V4 engine. And obviously the top of the line, you know, the supermodel of Ducati is here, which is the V4R. And it's kind of cool because we're local, and Ducati Miami is local, because if you take a look at some of this stuff, they have a lot of inventory, and just being able to come and see stuff like this, even if you're not buying it, you just want to come see it, because these are exotic motorcycles, guys. It's really cool. And let's go this way because they have more cool things, but let's take a look at the Motomillion Streetfighter V4. Look at it on display over here. I think it holds its own. There's a lot of beautiful, beautiful motorcycles here, but the Motomillion Streetfighter V4 is here. And like I said, if anyone has happened to be interested into purchasing this, or hey, you come take a look at it. If you already have a Streetfighter V4 and you want to dress it up the same way, the guys over here on the parts department will be able to help you out with all of those needs. They should be able to get you everything that Motomillion has to offer, and what better way to do it, because they're a full service shop that they could install everything that you want. And I'm going to say something. So we didn't buy a Bayliss. I was really into getting a V2 Bayliss, and they have one over here. And this is very understated, guys. You guys have no idea of how much presence it has in person, because when you look at it online, it kind of doesn't do justice, just like with most of the bikes, because Ducatis are 3D pieces of art, right? Because it's very hard to take a picture or a video where it's two-dimensional to show you all the curves and everything. But this color scheme looks great, and the gold forks that's on this bike, I think it just pops out. And let's go towards the back because they have more stuff there. This is the Streetfighter V4, the Lamborghini Streetfighter V4. And I love this thing. Why? Because it has kind of the whole build philosophy that we had with the Motomillion Streetfighter V4 behind it. At a quick glance, you're just going to say, hey, it's just a paint scheme on a Streetfighter V4. But if you take a look at it closely, the front fender is completely custom to this motorcycle. It's not like a fender that's on a Streetfighter V4, a Panigale V4. All the bodywork, most of it is all bespoke. So this top side panels, the lower belly panels, it's even the tail panel that's over here, it's all bespoke to this bike, and it makes it really cool. And also, you know, it's the Lamborghini color scheme. So this is an absolutely amazing motorcycle. And if you just want to get something out of the box that is like nothing else out there, one of these I think it's a perfect choice if you could get your hands on one. And I think if you're part of Lamborghini's Unica program, you could have this painted to match your Lamborghini as well. But over here, these are the Scrambler lineups, and if you guys are intimidated on getting on a motorcycle, I think this is a great gateway motorcycle that you could probably pick up one of these. They're extremely affordable. At the end of the day, you're getting that Ducati brand name with it as well. And one of the cool things is that they have crazy amount of accessories. So if you want to make it your own, if you want to build a cafe racer, I'm sure they have everything that you could get for these bikes from even Ducati's accessory lineup. And one bike I really want to show you guys is this GT1000. These are so cool. These are basically these were some of the modern bikes that they had made at the time to mimic the cafe racer style of motorcycles. Oh my goodness, I would love to own one of these. But luckily, all the new bikes that Ducati has released kind of takes away some of the memories I have with these bikes. When I come into places like this, it goes to show myself that how much I actually love the sport of motorcycle and the enthusiasm that I have, because if I had the ability, I think I would have every single bike in here, because just imagine what this offers you that nothing else offers. This enduro type, I think this is, as the name suggests, it's the Scrambler type of motorcycle. Just with this Termi pipe, it would probably sound amazing. And maybe what we'll do is that I've never ridden one of these. We'll take out some of these bikes for a ride. That way I could tell you guys from someone who's got no experience with a bike like this and a lot of experience on the other higher end of the motorcycles like the Panigale V4s and the Streetfighter V4s and all the other crazy bikes that are out there. I really would like to see what my impression of these things would be. So stay tuned for that. But right behind me over here as well, they have a service shop. They have a beautiful Diavel V4 being worked on inside there. So it goes to show you guys that this is a full service shop and this is what we like seeing. And as I mentioned, I'm really, really happy to be a local of Miami because we get to enjoy such a great facility. But let's head over and let's meet the face behind the whole Ducati Miami. I think it's a great thing that we're going to meet him because I want to show you guys how personable this place is, because I'm not saying that we're not trying to promote Ducati Miami, don't get me wrong, because my enthusiasm for motorcycles lives on and I love seeing a place like this, and the owner's a really cool guy that really loves what he does and is very lucky to be the owner of Ducati Miami. So let's go meet him and let's go see what he has to say. So guys, I'm here with Omar. And
very nice to meet you, Manny.
Hey, likewise. And here's a little background, guys. Even though I've been in Miami for a very long time, and even though I've been a huge Ducati fan, if you guys don't know, for a very long time, I just recently got to meet Omar, and I'm very happy that we finally got to meet. And I have a few questions for him so that you guys can get to know Omar a little bit. My first question is, what's the current motorcycle that you're enjoying of riding?
Well, I have, in my house, I have a Multistrada piqued. Okay, I have had, I think that all the Multistradas in 2014. And I also have a Monster, and I have a Vespa.
Wow, cool. Hey, we have something in common. I have a Vespa too. I think we all love the Vespas.
Yeah. And thank you for coming.
Hey, you're welcome.
I have been following what you do. I think that is something cool, something great. And I will gladly support what you're doing.
Hey, thank you. Hey, it's all about the community, right? Because yes. I think we share the same passion. And I have another question for you. So, because this is something that I'm wondering, because we're in the same level of business or field of business of the same industry, let's say. But it's a little bit different, right? We're aftermarket, but you represent the brand name. And what is it that you enjoy the most of being or having the privilege of owning such a place like this, which is a dealership of exotic brand of motorcycles, but also on the flip side, for being able to bring the joy and experience to enthusiasts like me? Because I'm gonna tell you this, I walked in here and I've been going to Ducati Miami often, but I've been to a lot of the Ducati dealerships all across the country, across the world. And you could tell sometimes that some of them feel a little dull, but this place has a lot of presence, and I think it's because you are behind the operations here. But I want to hear from you. What drives you, and what do you enjoy the most about the?
Okay, difficult question, but let me try to explain. Okay, in few words, what I feel. Motorcycles is different to explain. It's difficult to explain, okay? Motorcycles in this industry will have to be transferring the emotion to our customers and the emotion that we receive from the brand, okay? To represent a brand like Ducati, I think that is the only brand that has been able to put a soul on the motorcycles, okay? You don't see people with tattoo of other brands, okay?
Yeah.
But people is willing to tattoo the Ducati brand on themselves. Motorcycles they are unique. What I enjoy the most about this industry is that, you know, when you are an enthusiast and you are into boats or exotic cars, or you don't go with a $30,000 car, okay, to a car show and everybody will be amazed, okay? In here, price doesn't matter, okay? It's just motorcycles is the glue for people that wouldn't meet in any other circumstances, okay? So this is what I enjoy the most. I deal here with different kind of people that I wouldn't be able to meet in other environments, okay? And I think that this is the motorcycle. Motorcycle is the glue for people that wouldn't be able to meet in any other environment, okay? And this brand represents the most beautiful toys, you know, I mean, the design, they are always 3 or 4 years ahead of any other brand, okay? For example, you take a look at any of those bikes, for example, Multistrada, Radar, okay? Panigale V4. When you thought that the 1299, okay, was the best bike ever, okay, then they reset the line to go for the V4, okay, and then they keep improving it, okay, and at this point of the year, I don't know what is coming, okay, for next year. I only know that the Monster 30th anniversary is coming, and I think that the bike is already sold out, okay. Wow. So let's see what is coming this year, okay. I'm very proud to represent this brand.
Yeah,
okay.
Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you finally. And even though I just got to meet Omar recently, I've been in the motorcycling community in Miami that I'm living for a while. And what the cool part is that the guys over here that work at Ducati Miami, I used to ride bikes with almost everyone that's here, because just like what Omar said, the camaraderie and the enthusiasm that was shared with all the motorcyclists, that it's within. And when I come in here, you know, I know the people because I used to ride, and unfortunately I'm a little too busy to be able to go and enjoy some of these motorcycles, but this is what I love. Like when you walk into a place that they have people that ride and people who are enthusiasts, this is amazing. Again, thank you, Omar, for having us in here. And then let's try to go ahead and see what we picked up, guys. Guys, here it is. The cat's out of the bag. It's a Diavel V4. And I know some of you guys are thinking it's not very much what we've been accustomed to doing, because we do super bikes and super nakeds. But here's a little backstory. I think you guys might have gotten a glimpse of Michal Knight's XDiavel on the videos. When I rode his bike, this thing was directly on my radar at the time, because that bike is so cool, but it's kind of getting phased out, and the Diavel V4 is the next big thing for Ducati. I have not yet ridden one of these bikes, but I have Omar here, and I'm going to let him explain the bike, because Omar is just as much as an enthusiast as I am with motorcycles, so I also want to hear what he has to say about the motorcycle. But Omar, yeah, go ahead. Tell me all about it.
Okay. First of all, this bike, the image is in the headlight, okay? When you turn on the headlights of this bike, this is the characteristic of the Diavel. The Diavel is a bike that is comfortable, has more than enough performance, okay? For example, this bike, I think that this bike is faster 0 to 60 than any sport bike, okay? Wow. It has launch control, very light. I mean, it's a way to ride on comfort with the performance and the look that a Ducati should be, okay? When you see the marketing, okay, for a Panigale, for a Streetfighter, you will see a guy dragging his knee, okay, on the track, okay? Yeah. In this one, you will see a guy going a straight lane in Utah, okay, sometimes, wearing black, okay? All the jackets and the clothes for this bike is supposed to be black. Actually, if you take a look at the design, okay, you will see that the engine is the same engine as on the Multistrada, but this one is dressed in black, okay? This is something that people appreciate, the air ducts in black. This is the bike, some years ago they did a survey. This was the bike with the highest level of education in the market, okay? Usually it's people that has achieved a lot of things, okay? And they decided to go for something in comfort with performance and the look on it. Of course, launch control, lean angle ABS, traction control, different riding modes, in an engine that is very powerful. It's 170 horses, but it's very reliable, and the maintenance is, for example, the valve adjustment on this bike is every 60,000 kilometers, that is about 38,000 miles, okay? I'm very glad. I would love to see what Manny and his team are gonna do with this bike, because I think that this is a great canvas, okay, to do something really cool.
And guys, let me bring up something. So when we get a blank canvas, as Omar said, my mind starts racing, because if you watch any of our story videos, on the story videos, I tell you guys how I start thinking about it. I get obsessive that what we're gonna do with it. We had a very good conversation with Omar, and I really appreciate it, because he was kind of showing me ideas, and that's what I love. It's the enthusiasm in him. And also, I think someone who is around this level of motorcycles that are being produced, and some of the very special bikes that come out in the motorcycling world comes out under his umbrella. He was able to give me some inspiration, and it's going to be definitely translated into what we do with this bike.
This one is a bike that you can modify to be more comfortable or to have more performance, but it's a brand inside the brand, okay? Mm-hmm. Just like a Scrambler is, yeah. Okay? That's why the advertisement and the marketing is even a different color from Ducati. And Ducati has been able to create something without losing the soul of the brand, but it's completely different. So I know that you will enjoy it. I hope for you to do something crazy, yeah, and good with
hey, to be sure that I'm going to try. Okay. Let's see, but I also want to, you see guys, when we make the bikes, it's very hard, because for me, I don't want to just grab a bunch of parts and throw it on there. There has to be a philosophy behind it. So I'm going to try. Hopefully, okay, I don't let you down, but you could definitely, you're going to see what it comes out to. So this bike shuts off the rear two cylinders under 4,000 RPM, and when you're cruising on the highway and you're just going steady speed. And it looks big and chunky, but it definitely doesn't feel heavy. I can tell you that much. Oh man, this is cool. It's different. Definitely doesn't feel anything like a Panigale V4. Even the engine sounds very different. I thought it's going to be the same engine, but this doesn't have the Desmo valves that the Panigale V4 and the Streetfighter V4 have. And that's why, as you guys heard Omar say, the service intervals on this bike are crazy compared to any other Ducati that I'm used to. It's 60,000 kilometers or 36,000 miles, I think it is, for your first Desmo service, or not Desmo service at that point, for your valve service. But I don't know, it's really windy. I don't know if you guys are picking up the noise on camera, but the bike definitely sounds very distinct. It's really comfortable though. Like, the seat is low. Quick shifter works really good though. That's a new thing for the Ducatis, because the quick shifters weren't the best. But now that they did all these electronic updates to the Panigale V4 and the Streetfighter V4, the quick shifter does work really good. As an initial impression, I could tell you guys that it's very comfortable. So don't get this wrong, the Diavel V4 looks like a cruiser, but it's the sportier cruiser in their lineup, the XDiavel, or XDiavel, however you want to pronounce it. That is the more of the cruiser type bike. This is what they call a super cruiser or a sport cruiser. And when you sit on it, you definitely feel it, that you're a little more lean forward like a sport bike. It does kind of feel like the Streetfighter V4, but the Streetfighter V4, you're a lot higher, so you're almost like on a sport bike. Whereas a super bike like a Panigale V4, but you're sitting more upright than a Panigale V4. This one, you're sitting way lower than a Streetfighter V4, but in terms of how much forward lean I have going on here. It reminds me of that, but being this low and being able to put your feet on the ground, having your knees bent like this is super comfortable. And this is something very new to me, because this type of bike is, at least in a Ducati, is very new to me, and I love to see this red here, guys. But yeah, let's put some more miles and see if there's anything that jumps at me with it. But I could tell you guys that we got a lot of work to do, guys. We're going to clean all this up. Even though the mirrors look good, I think this bike would look good with the bar end mirrors or something. Definitely I want to have this all clean for the handlebar area. Yeah, it's quick enough, guys. In terms of needing more power, it definitely is. Obviously I'm not doing anything crazy, but and it's actually pretty stable in the wind. It's really windy right now. I could see myself going for a ride towards the Keys with something like this. And it's really smooth. It's got launch control. We're definitely not going to try it over here. Not when it's this new, where the tires haven't been broken in and nothing else is broken in, but this is fun. I like this. It feels inherently Ducati, I can tell you that much. It doesn't feel like anything else from Ducati's lineup that I've experienced, but it definitely inherently feels Ducati. And I'm going to say something that right now, it just popped into my mind. I rode a Hypermotard SP around 3-4 years ago. It actually kind of sounds like the Hypermotard SP a little bit in terms of the engine noise that it's making. I know it's got nothing to do with that bike in terms of any of the mechanicals, but that's the first thing that I just remembered right now, that it sounds like the Hypermotard SP. But either way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this back to our shop so that we could start working on it and start thinking about what we're going to do. But I'm going to end this video over here, and if you guys like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments down below. Until next time, guys, have a good one.